Hey, it's Ty Bentley with Ty Loves New York, and the studio is a little bit darker than usual because there's no power in SoHo. In fact, we should step outside and look how weird this is. Early in the morning, 6 a.m. hour, there's just darkness. No street lights, no power in any of the buildings. We have backup generators going on, but our sister station 1010 Winds is actually broadcasting on the 92.3 signal because the AM transmitter, I mean, this is jargon, is down. So we want to make sure people could have the news. All the power is off. We've got backup generators, so there's actually maybe a light or two here and there in the building. But when I came into work this morning with my producer Jason, who's holding the camera, we had to take this weird route all the way from the west side down, kind of curving back and forth, weaving away from roads that were washed away or police were blocking off. And it's an interesting day in New York. Some of the big stories happening include yesterday, the crane that was on the top of 157, which is going to end up being the tallest residence building in New York City. It's 1,004 feet high. This crane was just blowing in the wind, and everybody thought it was fine. It had just been tested last Friday. And then you'll see videos all over the place today going viral of the crane tipping over the top of the building and then slamming down. That's what happened at about 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon in New York City. And from there, a lot of people were moved away from the area, right up there by Central Park. So that was on 57th, I think right in between 6th and 7th. And if you're in that area, you know, 4 blocks around the building were quadrant off. The Park Meridian Hotel, which is like a really nice hotel, was evacuated immediately. Everyone else that lives in the area was asked to check in with their safety administrators, just so we know where people are and we can take account. And then on top of the fact we have all that going on, just a few blocks away, not too far later that day, we started having power outages. And there were transformers blowing left and right. And this morning, very, very early Tuesday morning, NYU Medical Center had to be evacuated. They had an issue with their backup generators, and people were taken instead to some nearby hospitals, including Mount Sinai, and getting all of those patients into a safe place again. And then the saddest story, the one that I saw so far, 50 homes around Queens were burned in Breezy Point area, right over on Rockaway Peninsula. And it was this huge fire. A blaze was set in one house and started jumping from house to house. Worst part being that it's flooding in Queens right now. So on top of the fact that you've got a terrible fire going, the fire department had to work through the floods. Ended up saving, I think 25 people were stranded on the second story of a building near all of these fires. But it sounds like the FD has done their job now. We're going to get another update about what's going on with weather in just a second.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Lulu and Lala from Ty Loves New York, and we have your Dirty Under 30. First up, Octomom Nadia Suleiman has checked herself into rehab because she's hooked on prescription drug. What drug is it? It's Xanax. She said that she started on it because she was stressing out. Maybe she should stop worrying about doing her porn and start taking care of her kids. So she's leaving her 14 kids with the nanny to go get help. Or maybe she shouldn't have had the 14 kids. Who knows? Who knows? Kris and Bruce Jenner will not be getting Parents of the Year award. Turns out that LA County Sheriffs, along with social workers from the LA County Sheriff's Department of Children, made a visit to the Jenner household because someone made a call that Kylie and Kendall Jenner were in danger. Turns out it was a hoax, but now social workers will have to visit at least once a month until the case is closed. Way to go. That sucks. And we're going to keep with the Kardashians because Khloe Kardashian comes face to face with Kimmy's ex-husband, Damon Thomas.
What do you mean, Lou?
Yep, he's going to be the mentor on X Factor. I have to give it up to Simon. He really knows how to stir up trouble and controversy because he needs all the rating he can get for the show.
Well, today, a lot of power outages around the city, hundreds of thousands of people, maybe millions without power. It just depends on how you count it. I think I saw over 615,000 homes have no power around the tri-state. So we've got Kris actually on the phone from Con Ed. He'll be able to tell us more about what's going on. Hey, Kris, it's Ty.
Ty, good morning.
How are you?
All right, a little weary, but I'm sure most New Yorkers are.
Yeah, it seems to be the case for a lot of people as we try to get the city back on track as quickly as possible. And I know that Con Ed has been working around the clock to maintain power in as many areas as we can. But how many homes right now or residences are without power?
Ty, we have 670,000 customers in New York City and Westchester County without electricity, courtesy of Hurricane Sandy.
And is this the number of homes, or is that the actual number of residents, the people in the homes?
Well, it's homes, businesses, it's customers. Just as you don't know how many people live in my house, and I don't know how many live in yours. We each have 1 meter.
I don't even know how many people live in my house, actually.
Oh, my gosh.
My girlfriend might be moving in, but I can't get her to lock down a date. Anyway,
Oh, my gosh.
how long do we expect that most of those homes will go without power?
Well, our goal is to get everybody back in 7 or 8 days. That's the goal. But we will not be able to assess damage until Sandy's moved and the winds have stopped and the rains have stopped. This is the worst storm damage Con Edison has ever seen.
And in the meantime, as people are without power, whether that's at their business or at their home, what do you advise that they do to help, most efficiently get the process continuing? Is it that they need to call, or should they just
call or check by 1-800-75-CON-ED? They can call, or by their computer or mobile device, contact us at www.coned.com.
Hey, what's going on? It's producer Jason. As you can see outside, it's raining, but Ty's going to check in with Ginger Z to get you a better forecast.
All right, we're calling my friend Ginger Z, who does, she's a meteorologist for ABC, is here on Good Morning America. She's actually in Atlantic City.
This is Ginger.
Hey, Ginger.
Hi.
It's Ty.
Hi.
How are you?
Well, thank you.
Okay, well, I was mostly nervous. First of all, we tried to call you a couple times, and I got your voicemail, and I thought, well, she's in Atlantic City, where, are you guys having tons of flooding and stuff, right? The eye of the hurricane passed right through there.
Yes, the center passed about 5 miles just to our south. And what was so interesting, when we had this hurricane come through that turned into a nor'easter, by the way, we can't even call it that anymore, because now that it's moved inland, it went from 60 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts, all that flooding, to absolute silence in the center, or what you would call the eye.
Just like when the music in a movie comes on and goes, right?
It was very eerie.
Like super surreal.
Yes, because we had been battered and beaten all up and down the Jersey Shore for the entire day, and really for days before that, because I've been covering this in Florida, so I hadn't seen clear sky or calm conditions in 4 days.
So that's in Atlantic City, and what is going on today in New York City?
Yes, the worst of it has passed. So the winds will still be gusty, but it's nothing like yesterday. You won't have things flying into windows. You'll still have rain bands. It's still just going to be dreary and icky for about 3 days. That's going to take some time to pull away. By the end of the week is when we'll finally start to see some sunshine, and I think it's just going to take so long to clean everything up.
The big news of the moment is the MTA has decided that they're going to try to find a solution. All of the subways were shut down late Sunday night, PATH trains, LIRR, and they haven't been open. There's been no public transportation for a couple of days now. But what happened last night was Hurricane Sandy came in, swept so much water over the seawalls that a lot of it ended up in the subway system. 5.2 million commuters use the subway every single week in New York City, and now we're out of subway. So I heard they're going to use a very strategic, very aggressive bus schedule instead. They might even take some lanes on the streets and make them only for buses so that you can get around in the meantime as they're trying to fix the subway system in New York. But I want to call and see if we can get a statement from these guys about where we stand with the subway updates. This is the MTA. Could you give me a quick quote on when we think the subways might be back up and running for people?
No, we have no idea at this time. We're just starting our assessment activities.
And then my only other question is, would I be accurate if I said around 5 million people use the subway every week, at least last year's numbers?
No, that's about 5 million on an average weekday.
Oh, on a weekday? Oh,
yeah.
My God. All right. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay, very good.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, so there you go. I don't know that they're going to love that ton of video, but whatever. So 5 million every weekday. That's 25 million commuters just Monday through Friday. And if you want updates, we always are putting them up at 923now.com.